Today we're going to have a look at the life and times of Dunstaffnage Castle and the attached chapel. Welcome to Exploring Scotland's History. Dunstaffnage Castle is presumed to have been built in the 13th century by the MacDougalls, them being the most powerful clan at that time. They had been appointed by King Haakon of Norway. The castle would originally been much smaller with thick walls and very few entry points. It really was a perfect defence. Alexander II had the castle in his sights as he strove to free the Hebrides from Norwegian rule. He died on care of illness and the castle survived. Before Dunstaffnage, it's said that there was a fort here where the Stone of Destiny was held before being moved to the Scone by the request of King ℍ𝔞𝔰𝔱𝔞 in the 9th century. It was called the Stone of Jacob at that time. The fort is thought to have been built by the kings of Dalriada in the 600s. Quite a selection of fireplaces. I have quite an impressive kitchen one, a climb-in one, we're used to those. But this one, on the floor above the kitchen, would appear to have some beautiful carving on it. Within the kitchen we have little cool spaces. There's a chute for water, and I would imagine that would have been a wee dugget for something better that would want to keep cool. In the 14th century, the MacDougalls chose to support Balliol and his claim to the crown during the Wars of Independence. Surprisingly enough, Robert the Bruce took exception to this, resulting in the Battle of Brander in 1308. The Bruce was victorious and took control of Dunstaffnage. The lands were given to the Campbells, and apart from a few years when the MacDougalls held it again, it became one of a long string of castles held by the Campbells, reaching from Birkaldine, not too far from here, right through to Dollar in Clackmannanshire, 71 miles as the crow flies. It was besieged by Montrose's army in 1644 and was a garrison for Cromwell's troops from 1652 to 1660. Oh, and the Royalist troops set it on fire in 1685. In the Jacobite risings of 1715 and the 45, it was occupied by Hanoverian troops. In fact, our Flora MacDonald was detained here for her part in Bonnie Prince Charlie's escape. She was here for a time on her way to London. The castle was occupied in part right until the end of the 1800s. Tradition says that whoever holds the title of Captain of Dunstaffnage must spend 3 nights a year in the castle. It's pretty sparse here at best, rather him than me, especially when traditional tales tell of a resident ℏ𝔢𝔞𝔰 in the castle. Some describe her as a green lady, some as a hobgoblin or brownie. Like the brownie at ℍ𝔢𝔞𝔰𝔱𝔩, she sings with joy at good news and wails if impending doom is about to hit whatever clan is in residence. Brownies also have a propensity to assist around the castle, totally unaware that it is no longer occupied. It's said she hasn't been seen since a fire in the late 1800s, but really, who would take the chance on staying? Here we see the remains of the stables, which I would suggest would have been quite grand in their day. From here, we will wander through the wood to the remains of the chapel to tell you of the horrific events which unfolded in this gorgeous ruin. It's clear that Dunstaffnage Chapel was extremely ornate when in use. It was built just after the castle itself. Similar carved stones were unearthed at Kilbride at ℬ𝔢𝔞𝔤𝔢. I'll link a video now to the archaeological dig and its findings. The church was already ruinous when the Campbell burial aisle was added here at around 1740. The 17th and 18th century stones are mainly in commemoration. Oh yeah, but back to the story. Some would imagine a winter wedding is a beautiful thing. Though on the 20th of December 1462, this really wasn't the case. Sir John Stuart, 3rd Lord of Lorne, a widower, was to marry his mistress, a MacLaren. They already had a son, Dugald, so the wedding would secure his inheritance effectively. A relative of John's, Alan McCall, had other ideas, however. He stabbed John several times on the way to the church. Sir John, however, was made of sterner stuff, and he crawled to the altar and made his vows before he died. His brother Walter took on the lordship of Lorne. Sir John's son Dougal would wreak his revenge. It said it was him that struck down Alan McCall himself at the Battle of Stulk 5 years later. Dougal never took on the Lord of Lorne, but he was the first man to hold the title of Stewart of Appin. So that was Dunstaffnage Chapel and the castle and all the tales that are associated with it. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps the channel grow. I would like to thank now all those who donate via the Ko-fi page. It is very much appreciated and gets us a wee bit further. Until next time, thank you for watching.